Very restless in absence of a task or work. I had fever and the body had no strength. Still the mind felt agitated, restless because it could not engage in stuff. Why this boredom and restlessness? You know that, right? You want to reach somewhere, you want to do something. And you're grasped by a feeling of shortage of time. All the time you must remain committed to where you want to reach. Like a runner competing against many others and against time. So if you spend time lying down, recuperating, resting, you don't feel good about yourself. You feel as if you are not being fair to yourself, as if you are not realizing your potential. That's it. Where do you want to reach? We all have experienced this state, have we not? Something important is pending. And then the thigh or the ankle starts aching. We don't want to give any weightage to that, do we? We say we must carry on. Something else is more important. Who has the time to attend to this? Right? The question is, what is it that you are considering as more important? What is it that you are after? What is it? What are you chasing? Sir, what are you chasing? It's true of all of us. It's not a question particular to anybody. Very general.
So, I understand whatever we are chasing. I can see the futility of it also. Whatever the greed or respect, whatever you want to accumulate, I can see the futility of it.
No, there is no futility.
वहाँ पे पहुँच के भी restlessness खत्म नहीं
No,
होगी,
it's not futile. I'm not going to give you that typical hackneyed answer. It's something else.
Reassurance.
Obviously, if you're chasing a train, you must hurry up. It's 2 minutes to the departure. Obviously, you must run. Is it futile to run? Is it futile to run? You were to reach here at 3 and it's already 3:15. Must you not hurry up? It's not futile. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to give you one of the classical answers. I just want to ask, what are you chasing? What are you chasing?
Fulfillment of self-image or your ego, you can say.
The thing which I think is important should be done.
And those things keep changing, right? Those
Feeling
things.
important. Feeling important or accomplished.
Feeling important or accomplished.
Pleasantness.
Huh?
Pleasantness.
Pleasantness. And what she said just now is applicable to you, and what you said just now is applicable to her. She too wants to feel pleasant, or is unpleasantness quite dear to you? Is it? That's something that we all share, right, as human beings. So all of these things are important, and all of these things we must go into. And active action is required to get to them, to achieve them. We very well know that achieving them is important. We also know that this urge to achieve is never going to cease as long as you are human. You will feel restless without that cup of water. If you're thirsty and you need water and you don't have it, don't tell me you are self-realized so you won't bother. If you want to sleep and situations are not permitting you to sleep, don't give me that you are self-actualized so you would keep smiling. The brain can get so tormented by lack of sleep that it can die within a few days. You may have food, you may have water, you don't have sleep, you will die within a few days, quicker than you die of starvation. So we must get these things. They are important, right? If you want clothes, you must get them. If you want to meet someone, you must reach there. If you want food, you must have that. If you have an appointment, you must probably hurry up. Right? And these things will always be there. Always be there. How to live then? Do we declare that to be human is to continue in perpetual restlessness? Or is there a way out? I want to ask. We are in this situation where the entire life is a series of actions demanding completion, movements demanding destination, right? One achievement leads you to just another beginning, another process, another opening that must be concluded. How does one live then? In constant trouble, turbulence, feeling of dissatisfaction? How? Or in a feeling of satisfaction and pride that there is so much behind me? Alright, 44 tasks lie ahead of me, but you look at my CV, you look at my life journey. I have been able to complete 88 tasks in the past. So one can live in the pride of the past. One can live in the anxiety of the future also. How does one live?
Complete those actions. Complete those actions. The way you told actions are very simple. It doesn't consist any thought by itself. So if there is an action to reach wherever you come, 350. Because hurry up, will come. Action is simple. I won't be in a process of thinking what will happen, I left and all that. Action is simple.
The question is, there are situations when you cannot do those actions. The questioner says, I was fever and the body had no strength, so I could not commit myself to those actions. Now what to do?
So what is more important? Sleep.
Now what to do?
Rest.
The question is, there is something important in front of me. I have to reach somewhere and the body is not allowing.
Look for an alternative.
There is no alternative. The session happens at G39, 6 to 63 at this time. There is no alternative. You miss it, you miss it.
बॉडी के बारे में सोचो नहीं, अगर बॉडी इतनी ज़्यादा वो रखी है कि भाई कुछ नहीं हो सकता तो रेस्ट करना.
When our body supports us in all our endeavors and everything we want to do, then if sometimes our body needs us, then we should be there for it. Sometimes it doesn't happen most of the times, but most of the time our body supports us in everything we want to do.
You come to a point where the body very frequently starts deserting you. And that happens. It may happen in illness, it may happen with age. Then
choose either of you, either rest or coming to the place.
I want both.
Like you
Don't
said,
we all want both?
Like you said.
So don't give wise counsel. We want both.
एक चीज छोड़ देंगे.
But at the same time,
Body अगर move ही नहीं
you
कर
said
सकती
there
तो
is
उसमें
no
तो-
alternative. And there is no alternative, you said. And you missed it, you missed it. That's simple.
Try telling that to her. You missed it, you missed it.
No. But
You
she
can
knows.
tell that. But would that take care of the fire within? We are not talking of grand statements. We are not talking of dialogues to deliver.
So live with restlessness.
Hmm?
Live with it, restlessness.
Until it settles by itself.
You see what is happening right now. If you can understand what is happening right now, the whole thing will open up. we are going to that instant and trying to find an answer there. As if what is happening in that instance of restlessness has been created in that moment itself. It has not been created then. It is the result of a long process of the past. It is a result of all the habits that we have been carrying forward. It's in a way an outcome of our entire way of living. If you have always been telling yourself that one thing after the other is important and you must always keep playing catch up, then obviously when the body will stop cooperating, when situations will turn adverse, you will feel restless, and if you don't take care of that restlessness quickly, you will also lose your self-worth. You will say, you know what, I am incapable of delivering. You will fall in your own eyes. Like someone who doesn't perform well at work, like someone whose peer ratings are always bad. The achieving mind is bound to come to this state, and this state doesn't have an answer in that moment. In fact, in that moment, the advice that came from someone, now live through it, or rather live with it. Who said that? That is the only thing possible in that moment. But that would be a very cruel phase to pass through. It would be like saying that now you have put yourself in muck, now pass through it, now walk through it. Now probably that's the only thing that can be done. But it's surely not something you look forward to. Or do you? If you want to really not get into it, then don't ask this question when you have already been drenched in the muck. Wake up in time. If the body is fit today, then see that whether you want to keep exploiting it for the purpose of achievement. If you want to keep exploiting the body to satisfy the mental urge for achievement, there would come a day when the body would not be equally useful, cooperative, pliant. The body too has an expiry date, does it not? Everything about the body is mechanical, and like any piece of machinery, the body comes with a best before date. Best before 40 years of age. And many organs of the body best before 30 years. Want to not to come to this? Change the entire lifestyle. Change the whole environment in which you live. Look at the people you meet. In their own perceptible and imperceptible ways, gross and subtle ways, they are urging you, prompting you to keep achieving. If you stay with them, then they become your teachers. We do not even realize the frequency and depth of impressions that situations cast upon our mind. You know, the buzz of this machine is already conditioning the mind. The way this light has been placed is already conditioning the mind. The fall of a leaf conditions the mind. Something you see on the road without any intention just coincidentally conditions the mind. Someone is wearing yellow, that conditions your mind. And if you realize, even if in principle, that the mind is so prone to being conditioned by extraneous factors, then do take care of those factors. Nothing except company matters. See where you live, see how you live, see what you watch, see what you read, see whom you meet. Only that decides the quality of the mind and hence the quality of life. Nothing except that. You are your environment. And if you allow your environment to continue, then you allow your misery to continue. There is no point asking, in a fit of anger, how to control anger. It's a stupid question. The only answer then is bear the anger. In the middle of excitement, provocation or depression, if you ask what to do now, the only right answer is live through it, bear it. Want to get rid of these things? Have a better life. Without changing life, changing the small sectors of life, changing the constituents of life is not going to happen. You live in an environment that is toxic in all ways, mental and physical. Let's say the environment is full of fumes. And then you come and ask, after getting problems in the windpipe, in the lungs, what to do? You have already done a lot. Now what is left to be done? You are going to the doctor and asking now. There are ulcers all over, right from the nose till the lungs. I have been inhaling bad stuff. And you are asking now what to do. The doctor will say, what is left to do? Have you not already done everything? Now all that is left to do is wait for the end. Were you sleeping since the last 10 years? No, then you were busy reaping the imagined benefits. Now why do you cry? The runner who is disconsolate right now that he cannot complete the race because the ankle is twisted is also the runner who has lived in the pride of having completed so many races and won trophies. Then you were so happy that you were an achiever. Even today, if it were in your control, you would have put aside the indisposition and tried to run. Just because it is now beyond you to run, so you are asking how to control my restlessness. Remember that this is not a preferred question. Your condition right now is that the body is indisposed and so you cannot run and are restless. You are asking what to do with the restlessness. You know what your preferred question is? How can I still continue running? That is the question you first of all want to ask. When that question bears no fruit, only then you ask, all right, now that it is given that I cannot run, kindly tell me, how do I manage the restlessness? As long as you keep wanting to run, you will have to keep bearing the restlessness. And the want to run, I repeat, comes not from within you. It is a matter of all that you have drunk. No kid is born so mad that he would want to keep achieving all her life. No girl or boy was ever born with a list of things to do.